Good. We're good. Oh, just an inch or two.
Or 18. Okay.
Is it time? All right. The meeting will now come to order. We'll start with roll call. Mr. Johnson?
Here.
Mr. Landwehr?
Here.
Ms. Sari?
Here.
Mr. Granlund?
Here in person.
Mrs. Olson? Here. Mrs. Livingston Mather is not here. All please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Did we want to remark that if someone is not speaking, we should put the mute on? Because that's in the past, sometimes it will take over for us to such.
Yeah, if that's better.
Right.
So,
But then they need to unmute themselves and
Right,
because we all
right.
make lots of motions.
so, Mr. Johnson and Ms. Sari, if you,
Yes.
are you able to mute with you not speaking? Yeah, then it's a little clearer and less feedback and background noise. Thank you. The agenda was posted in at least 3 places in district and on the district webpage according to the Wisconsin state statutes and school board policy for special meetings. We would begin with the approval of the February 28th, 2022 special meeting agenda.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda for this special meeting. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Under approval items, the discontinuation of face covering requirement on school buses and in school vehicles. So.
We have a CDC recommendation that we go ahead and are allowed to have a motion to that effect. The rate in Bayfield County is low. The rate in Douglas County right now is high. This is a board decision. Administration's unanimous recommendation is to have face masks optional on our transportation, whether it be buses or vans or the school car.
I'll make a motion that we pass that approval item, making face masks optional.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to make the face covering requirement on school buses, not a requirement, but option. Discussion or questions?
You said buses and
It all,
Bus and school vehicles.
thank you.
Okay. Any questions or discussion? Go ahead, Gail.
Yeah, because when I look at the map that I just got from, I think it was from the county and census tract. It said Douglas, and then there's the counties all around us. Towns, I should say, Superior, Maple, Washburn, Ashland, and Bayfield are all in high, and Solon Springs, Drummond area, and let me see, on the North Shore there, it shows them as being, more on the moderate, whatever. So that's where I thought, is once you make it optional, okay, is there a cutoff or if our rate goes up, does that mean we can start using them again, or if it's just optional, it's up to the people who ride the bus, right?
If it's optional, it is up to the people who ride the bus, that is correct.
Yeah,
we can always revisit anything at any future meeting.
That is true.
I didn't hear what he said.
Oh, he said we can always revisit anything at any time, any future meeting. That's what Brian said.
Yeah, so why is the rush to go and take face masks off? Our school board meeting is in, well, it's 3 weeks instead of 2 weeks, but I guess yeah. As soon as it gets lifted, if the rates go up, yeah, so we're gonna call it, like, I've seen it not happen before. So I guess I'm not in approval of just taking it off. I guess I feel that if another 2 weeks would make a big difference.
Okay, is there any other comments or questions?
Taking the requirement off could alleviate some of the traffic congestion we have at the elementary schools. And have more people willing to have the kids ride the bus.
That may be.
That is an issue.
It is an issue.
It's,
But there again, that doesn't show that there may be still the traffic in there because people have gotten used to bringing their children in. So I don't know, you can look at it both ways, I guess.
All of the children that are riding the bus currently, I mean, I don't think anybody has a firm percentage of the amount of those children that get off the bus and take their mask off for 8 hours. But our transmission rate within the school currently is very low. So,
Compared to many schools that have had masks on all year.
yeah, well, just regardless of the mask status, the fact that you having a mask on during a school bus ride and then taking it off while you're in school and then putting it back on at the end of the day, you're with a greater population during the course of the day than you are on the bus. Same kids on the bus in the morning and the afternoon. I don't, I guess personally, I don't buy if it was removing masks as within the school and the buses all at one time, I could understand the concern. But the fact that currently you're dealing with, you have masks on for one thing and not another, again, still having the option to do so.
Right. Well, still, I still know you're in closer proximity for a longer period of time when the kids are riding the bus also.
You are.
If you look at the sporting events too, a basketball game, all the kids shoulder to shoulder, without masks, I guess. I'm not sure I see.
For me, I think that everything's trending the right direction as far as transmission. And we've kept our classrooms open, and I think this is just the next logical step. If everyone's out and about with all of them, like you say, at basketball games, they're right next to each other's.
Cheering.
Yeah, yes. So, I mean,
Yelling.
and again, they can wear a mask if they want to. So, that's my
I think the numbers we knew this wasn't gonna last forever, and because the numbers have gone down and have gone down significantly, even though it might be high now, I can see that number changing.
But the county is high, not the school. That's, we got the email today talking about Washburn. Was it Washburn County or was it actual Bayfield County with Washburn School where the majority of the outbreak was in Washburn? Of the 65 positive cases last week, 49 of them were in Washburn. I mean, if you're taking the whole thing as a whole, I think so, but if we're looking at just us, I think we've been in pretty good shape.
And I think if I read it correctly, it was way down with children, school age children. Am I right?
Yes.
Way down. so.
That's good.
All right, if there are no further questions or comments, I guess we're ready for a vote. The motion is to make wearing a face mask on school buses and school vehicles optional. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, the same sign.
Aye. Neil.
Motion carries.
That is effective immediately, correct?
Yes.
Starting,
We're
Tomorrow
gonna
morning.
shoot something out, yeah.
okay.
All
We
right,
will stay until it gets done to.
our next item is a revision to the return to school and continuity of educational services plan and isolation plan revision for employees only.
The plan is for employees who had COVID would need to quarantine for day 1 through 5. They would be allowed to return day 6 with no symptoms, but would need to wear a mask day 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That is for employees only.
And that's also per CDC recommended.
Yeah, it is.
All right,
I make a motion to approve the revision to the return to school and continuity of education services plan and isolation plan revision for employees only.
it's kind of a mouthful,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I just read it.
I'll second, I'll have to take these.
We have a motion and a second to approve the revision that we just spoke of, which would allow staff members to come back on day 6, but wear a mask, and that's with no symptoms.
Correct. And therefore, the student plan, since they had been combined, is now separated. And so that plan needs to be part of this motion as well, because we're separating the two plans.
They would have to wear the face masks for day 6 through 10.
Correct.
Okay.
All right,
So you want me to,
Amend the motion or?
okay, I amend my motion to say, I approve the revision to the return to school and continuity of education services plan and isolation plan revisions for both the separation of the employees only portion and the students only portion.
Well, worded.
I hope everyone got that, because I don't think I could repeat it.
Well, then we-
I think as long as Peggy got it, we're in good shape.
I got it.
All right, and did we have a
I
second?
will second that.
Sure.
We should discuss the student part then.
Oh, okay.
See, that's part of the motion.
Is there more on the student one you want to discuss?
It doesn't really change.
It didn't
It's
change.
just separated out.
Yeah.
We had actually, Mike, at the last, what was that meeting with all the teachers and such?
Oh, the compensation committee?
Compensation committee, there was a bunch of stuff that was talked about, this was brought up, and I think,
But other things are gonna come on the 21st.
but when we talked about it, we felt at that time, just in talking with the group that was there, that it's easier to monitor the employees as opposed to try to monitor all of the students.
Yeah.
Whether they should or shouldn't wear masks, which is why we started with this, to see where it went.
Correct.
Just to give you some background.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
The administrators were not comfortable with the student portion because that's a burden on the teachers, that they've now got to have a list of who do they have to be the mask police on
And
and
for
who
how
do not.
many days?
And for a day, what day are we at?
Very
We were
complicated.
not gonna saddle our teachers with that.
All right, again, we had a second?
Sure.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to approve the revisions as we've talked about to our
Plans.
plans, yes. And I think we can leave it
Yeah.
at that. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. And item C, the 2022-23 employment contract for a special ed director.
Normally, we would have a 2-year contract for administrators and middle management. However, trying to get her onto the same pattern as all the others, it's just a 1 year. And then the following year, then it would be a 2-year. It just makes it easier.
You got me?
For the Dr. Coney, for the record, could you say the name of the?
Oh,
person?
I'm sorry, Allison Nielsen, our special ed director, was the candidate chosen.
All right,
So it's a 1 year.
Correct,
but only really for purposes of
of
getting all
aligning,
the administrators.
that's
on the
correct, that's correct,
same. Okay, just so that's clear.
absolutely.
All right, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve this hire and a 1 year contract.
I'll make second the motion.
We have a motion and a second to approve the employee contract for the special ed director,
Allison Nielsen.
Allison Nielsen, for the 2022-23 school year.
How many candidates were applied?
Applied 5, 1 pulled out, 4 were interviewed.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, the motion is to approve the 2022-23 employment contract for Allison Nielsen for special ed director. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Mike, we did have one late person who didn't make the deadline.
Oh,
Okay, and that is our agenda for tonight, so I would look for a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion. No, please. I will second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn this meeting. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Gail.
Signing off, guys. Bye.
Bye, Brian.